It's the stars of the future. Please welcome your host, Emma Williams.
Hello and welcome to our brand new series of Stars of the Future. Tonight our contestants will be travelling through time into our future and will be transformed before your very eyes. And they will be giving us clues as to what they want to be when they are older. When I was younger, I always wanted to be an explorer. I thought the clothes looked pretty cool and I wanted to go and explore new places. However, I very quickly gave up on that idea when one day I got lost on my way to the toilet. Let's kick off our show with our first guest, star guest number 1.
Hi, my name's Emma. I work for a charity called Valley Kids, and I love to go hiking, walking in my spare time. You often find me out in the Derbyshire Dales, Scotland, Wales. Looking forward to being on Stars of the Future.
Please welcome Emma! Welcome to the show, Emma. Now, can you give us some clues as to who you're going to be this evening?
Yes, tonight I'm going to be somebody who is really, really famous. They're really, really rich, and they do a lot of training as their job.
Oh, sounds interesting. Go on then, Emma. Tell us, who are you going to be?
Tonight, Emma, I am going to be a footballer like Messi.
Wow, okay, so tonight, appearing live, Emma as a footballer like Messi. Muppets and Jelly Beans, that was Emma as a footballer. Well, it is time for us to meet our second star of the future, guest number 2.
How do I turn this thing on? Am I on? Oh, yeah. Hello. Well, my name is Abigail, and what can I tell you about myself? Well, I am a member of the WI, did you know? Yes, and in the WI, I do a lot of baking. In fact, I'm really proud of my bakes. Everyone really likes them. I've just made this delicious Victoria sandwich cake this morning. Yummy. So that's me. My name is Abigail. Ooh, turn it off.
Please welcome Abigail! Oh, Abigail, thank you so much for coming onto the show. So good to meet you. Can you give us some clues as to who you're going to be this evening?
Well, the person I'm going to be is rather heavenly.
Okay.
The person I'm going to be is a beautiful singer. And the person I'm going to be is almost perfect in every way.
Oh wow, okay, go on then. Tell us, who are you going to be for us this evening?
Well, Emma, I am going to be an angel, like Angel Gabriel.
Fantastic. Okay, so performing live for you tonight is Abigail as an angel like Angel Gabriel. and jelly beans, that was Abigail performing as an angel. It's time now for us to meet our third and final guest, our final star of the future, guest number 3.
Hi, my name is Debs and I love to sing at my church, as you can probably see, and I work for Valley Kids and I can't wait to be on Stars of the Future.
Please welcome Debs to the show. Welcome to the show, Debs. Now, can you give us some clues as to who you're going to be tonight?
I can. I'm going to be somebody who travels the world and they go on lots of adventures and sometimes it's very dangerous.
Oh, sounds intriguing, but come on then, put us out of our misery and tell us, who are you going to be?
Well, I'm going to be an explorer like Indiana Jones.
Fantastic. Okay, appearing live, here is Debs as an explorer like Indiana Jones. Muppets and jelly beans. Debs is a little bit lost and very scared, so we're actually going to end the performance there. Well done, Debs. Let's give her a round of applause. And well done, Debs. Well, that's it. We have now met all of our stars of this evening. I wonder who will be crowned tonight's star of the future. But before we find out, let's have another chat with our 3 stars and see why they chose the jobs that they did. So come back on, everybody. Let's have a chat. Wonderful. So, Emma, tell me, why did you decide you wanted to be a footballer?
Well, Emma, I love football and I really want to be rich and famous. And so I thought that if I dressed up like a footballer, a bit like Messi, then I would be rich and famous and good at football.
I mean, makes sense. And Abigail, why did you decide that you wanted to be an angel?
Well, angels sing really, really, really beautifully, and I really want to be a really good singer, and they're perfect, and I want to be perfect. So I thought if I became dressed up like an angel, then I would be able to sing beautifully too.
Okay, I mean, makes sense as well. And Debs, why did you decide that you wanted to be an explorer?
Because I wanted to be on the telly and be rich and famous too.
And you thought that being an explorer would make that happen. It makes sense. Right, I think shall we put our 3 stars out of their misery and find out who has won? Who is going to be the star of the future? Will it be Emma as the footballer? Will it be Abigail as an angel? Or will it be Debs as an explorer? Let's see. Do you know what? Stop, stop, stop! This is absolute nonsense. I mean, I'm sorry everybody, but let's be honest. Emma, you're really not very good as a footballer. I mean, you nearly broke our camera. That's not to say that you're not talented. I mean, we saw that you're really good at going off on adventures and discovering new places. And Abigail, I really hate to break it to you, but that singing was far from angelic. But your cakes and your baking, you can make angel cakes, but maybe don't become an angel. And Debs, I mean, you got terrified just standing here. How on earth are you going to go out and be an explorer? You can't. But I know fine well that you do have a beautiful gift at singing. You all have gifts and talents. You don't need to be dressing up and pretending to be Messi or Angel Gabriel or Indiana Jones. You are all special as you are. And so actually, to be a star of the future, you need to be using the gifts that God has given you. So I think really from that perspective, none of you really are a star of the future in terms of being a footballer and an angel and an explorer. But you can all be stars of the future when you pick things that you're actually good at. That is it for tonight's Star of the Future. We'll see you soon for another episode. Goodbye.
I wonder, have you ever wished to be different? Perhaps you wish you had longer hair or shorter hair. Perhaps you wish you were better at numeracy or art or science. Perhaps you wish you were faster at running or a better baker or could speak in lots of different languages. Me too. I wonder, have you ever felt not good enough? Me too. And it's true. We can always try to be a better version of ourselves. There's always new skills for us to learn. There's always something new to discover, more growing to do. But we are all very different. We've all got different skills and abilities, different strengths and weaknesses, different things to offer. And as a Christian, I believe that we have been created special and unique by God. And we are called to be the person that God has created us to be. Let me tell you a story from the Bible about a boy called David who trusted God with who he had been created to be. God's people had many enemies, and one of those enemies was the Philistines. They were mighty and they were fierce, and the Israelites were scared. The Philistines had a secret weapon, and his name was Goliath. And Goliath was a soldier in the army. But Goliath was known as a giant because he was really big and really tall, and the Israelites were really scared. One day, Goliath marched up to the Israelite army, and he said to them, "I dare you to fight me. I dare you to fight me. And if I win, you will be my slaves. And if you win, I will be your slaves." And the Israelites were so scared and they didn't know what to do. No one was brave enough to fight Goliath. But God had a plan. See, there was this boy, a boy called David. Now, David was too small and too young to be in the army, but he had a very important job. David was a shepherd and he looked after the sheep. And with God's help, he protected the sheep from things like bears. One day, David went to visit the Israelites' army. He came to bring them some lunch. But when he saw the Israelites standing on the hillside, really scared, not sure what to do, not sure how to face Goliath, David said to them, "Don't be afraid, for God is with us." He took one look at the big giant Goliath and he said, "I will fight him." The Israelites thought this was so funny that they started to laugh. They said, "David, you can't fight Goliath. He's a giant. No one can fight Goliath. You're too young. You're too small. You can't fight him." But David said, "Yes, I can, for God is with me." So the king came to David and said, "If you are to fight Goliath, you need an armour to protect you." And the king gave David his armour. And David put on the helmet, put on the breastplate. He took hold of the sword and the shield. But he came tumbling to the ground for the armour was too heavy for him to hold. David took off the helmet, the breastplate, the sword and the shield. He threw them down on the ground and he said, I am no soldier, but I am a shepherd, and I will face Goliath with God's help. So David picked up his slingshot and he chose 5 smooth stones and he marched straight up to Goliath. And Goliath took one look at this small boy walking towards him, and he just laughed. He said, you're not going to beat me, you're just a small boy, and I am a giant. But David took one look at him. He took a stone and put it in his slingshot. He waved the stone with the slingshot above his head and let go, and the stone flew through the air and hit Goliath in the forehead between the eyes, and Goliath fell flat on the ground. At this, the Philistines' army ran away because they were so scared of what had happened, and the Israelites praised God because David was the hero. David was too little to fight, or so they said. David was too little to fit into the king's armour. But God said he was big enough. David used his skills as a shepherd in order to fight Goliath. I wonder, what are your skills? What are you good at? And I wonder, how can you use them for good?
Christians believe that our talents, the things that we are good at, are God's gifts to us. I wonder, what gift has God given you? What are you good at? I wonder if it's one of these things. Are you good at reading? Maybe it's something different. Maybe you're good at thinking of others. Maybe you're good at being a good friend. Maybe you're good at drawing. Maybe you're good at dancing. We're all good at something different. Let's thank God for all our gifts. Let's pray together. Dear Lord, thank you for all those talents and things that we're good at, whether it be football or dancing or being a good friend. Thank you that you've given each of us a different talent. Help us to use those gifts and talents to help others. Amen.